Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming today. I am Dr. Stacey Gaines with Essentially His Wisdom, and I help people find and safely use natural solutions for their everyday health needs. So today, I would like to talk with you a little bit about some ways that you can safely boost your immune system. So our immune systems, it's basically a series of organs and some different biological processes that are at play in our bodies. And its job is really one of defense. So it's supposed to fight against anything that's harming the body. It's really our body's natural protective system. One of the things that I want to think about as we move into this, though, is the best remedy for fear is action. So what I want to do today is give you some very simple, actionable steps that you can take today to start supporting your immune system so that it can do its job. So I have a PowerPoint, some slides so you can look at something other than just me as we kind of walk through this. Yeah, so let me get that up and going. All right, here we go. So to get started, I want to help you understand that we are in many ways kind of flipping how we tend to approach healthcare in our country upside down with some of the suggestions that I'm going to give. So what I do as just my profession here is to help educate people on how to be healthy through their lifestyle choices. And so as we talk about the immune system and really helping it to work in an efficient and a successful manner, I'm going to be coming at this from more of a wellness model, which is the one that you see on the right on your screen here. So let me pause really quickly and say that I am absolutely for Western medicines. I'm not against doctors. I'm not against traditional medical care. What I am passionate about, though, is that the way we approach healthcare can be different. So what we generally do is we look to manage symptoms. So I feel sick, I go to the doctor, he or she helps me, right? That's kind of our traditional mindset. But there are so many lifestyle choices that we can make to flip this system to be less of a sickness healthcare model and more of a wellness-based healthcare model, where we take care of our bodies so we don't have to rely on a broken healthcare system as much. So this model on the right is really how we're going to approach boosting our immunity as we go throughout today. And this is what it's going to look like. That model is comprised of several steps. We're going to focus mainly on the bottom four today because those are what we call lifestyle aspects of wellness. These are like choices that we can make to put our body in the best position to be well. But I'm also going to spend a little bit of time on the informed self-care piece because I think there's some stuff we can do in that category as well. As we get started, or even as we're working through each of these, I do want you to give yourself a grade. Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in each area. And that's going to help you to see where you might be able to make some changes to start to help your body to do its job. So this looks at from the bottom to the top. We're going to look at eating right. We're going to look at exercising, resting and managing our stress, reducing our toxic load, informed self-care. These are things that we can do in our own home. And then proactive medical care as opposed to reactive medical care. So what are ways that I can seek medical care in advance of getting sick if I need to in order to help myself be well? So we look at this as like a wellness pathway. Again, lifestyle choices that we can make to put our bodies in that position to be well. But every single one of these is also intricately linked to immunity. And we'll talk about that as we go through. So let's start with everybody's favorite, eating right. So you should aim to eat the rainbow every day. It's a really good rule of thumb. If you can think about eating from red to purple every single day in some way, and that these should be primarily whole foods, things that are grown in the ground, maybe animals, sorry, vegans and vegetarians. But our American diets, they're generally really overprocessed, and they're based in like simple carbohydrates that our body has a difficult time breaking down and utilizing, and really doesn't know how to utilize other than sugar and stored fat. And so because of this, because we have these overprocessed diets that don't necessarily give us the vitamins and the minerals that we need, most of us need some sort of supplementation just to kind of bridge the gap between this diet of what I am eating that's overprocessed and lacking and what my body truly needs for health. So in regards to our immune system health, you want to eat a balanced diet. So eating the rainbow is going to be an easy way to think about that. Making sure you're getting all of kind of your standard vitamins and minerals. But remember that our agricultural practices have changed over the last several decades. And so because of that, even our really clean, more plant-based diets don't have the same vitamins and minerals that they used to. So we generally are going to need to supplement to make sure that we're getting that balanced diet with the vitamins and minerals that our body needs. So in particular, when we're talking about immunity, things that you definitely want to look at are higher amounts of vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, and magnesium. There's certainly others, but those are probably the most important. So let me just say that not all supplements are created equal. The majority of supplements on the market today are excessively high in their dosage. So they actually create strain in the body to be able to process them. The other thing is most of them are synthetically derived. So your body, because it doesn't know how to deal with that synthetic material, is wasting most of that out. So you're wasting your money, literally. So the doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Trio is by far, in my opinion, the best supplement trio on the market today. And for those of you guys who don't know me, my background is in health and kinesiology. I had to take several graduate level nutrition courses in my doctoral program. And so I understand supplementation, I understand nutrition. So when I say that these are the best, it's coming from that level of expertise and not just an opinion. So I have an entire webinar that focuses on this supplement trio. If this is something that you'd like to learn more about and why they are the best, head over to essentiallyhiswisdom.com, click on the Essential Oils 101 link, and one of the options there will be lifelong vitality. If you click on that, you'll find a ton of information in there to help you see why these are so helpful for our bodies. But the last thing that I want to make sure that we talk about when we're talking about eating right is hydration. We have to make sure that we're hydrated. Our bodies are mostly water, and we need to keep them that way. We don't want to dehydrate them, especially when we're trying to stay healthy. So we should aim to drink about half of our body weight in ounces every single day. So if you weigh 180 pounds, you're going to shoot for 90 pounds each day that you're trying to hit. So moving on into exercise, another favorite, our bodies are designed to move, you guys. In fact, when they don't move, they actually begin to break down. So I want you to think of a rubber band that doesn't get used for a long period of time. It starts to get brittle. It oftentimes will break, right? That's basically what happens in our bodies. There are natural physiological processes that take place when we exercise that are intricately connected into our immune system. So physical activity, we know that it causes changes to our antibodies and to our white blood cells. Both of those are really important parts of our immune system and at fighting. Exercise also helps to flush out viruses and bacteria from our body's vital systems, like our respiratory and our pulmonary systems. Exercise also elevates our mood. It helps us to relieve stress. We're going to talk a little bit more about these shortly, but exercise is also a way that we can help to rest and manage our stress. So you should aim for 30 minutes of moderate physical activity every single day. And a lot of people will ask me, well, what's moderate? How do I know what moderate physical activity is? So the key is you want your respiratory rate and your heart rate to increase, but it doesn't need to be at this point where you're completely out of breath. You can't hold a conversation with somebody while you're exercising. We'd actually call that moderate to strenuous physical activity. So certainly there are cardiovascular and metabolic benefits to exercising at those higher intensity levels. But in terms of overall health and immunity, when we're shooting for that moderate range, that's going to be sufficient. So going for a brisk walk, even house or yard work, that kind of gets your heart rate up. Of course, the more strenuous activities like running or swimming or weightlifting, those are going to be great too. And those are going to give you the same benefits, but they aren't going to be necessary when we're targeting immune support. So just think of getting my heart rate up, getting my respiratory rate up. And if you're in that zone for 30 minutes every single day, you're probably going to be doing some good things for your immune system. Now, doTERRA has some products like Mito to Max to help energize your workouts or just give you energy throughout the day. Deep Blue to help your body recover if you get sore, aches and pains, those types of things. Certainly a host of essential oils that have benefits related to exercise. Breathe is one that a lot of people like because it helps open up your airways so it's easier to breathe. At the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you guys a link with several products. So I'm just kind of giving some highlights as we go through here. Know that like an entire list is coming for you. Next, we're going to talk about rest. We're going to break this one into two, rest and manage stress. So we're going to start with rest. This is a really big one because we are grossly under-rested in our country. Our bodies are actually designed to get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every single night. That's when they're going to work at their best. Can we survive with less or with a lower quality sleep? Sure, but there's always going to be consequences eventually, if not even the next day. So in terms of our immune systems, studies show that people who don't get quality sleep or don't get enough sleep are more likely to get sick after they've been exposed to a virus such as a common cold virus. So a lack of sleep can also affect how fast we recover if we do get sick. So without sufficient sleep, what happens is our body makes fewer cytokines. This is a type of protein that targets infection and inflammation, and our body needs these cytokines to create an immune response. That they're kind of what kick our immune system into gear to start fighting those external threats. So the Serenity line from doTERRA is one of the best for promoting quality, restful sleep, using it as the oil, diffusing it, using the supplement. All three are recommended for the best results or the best benefits in terms of sleep quality. Even one of our most common oils, lavender, can help to calm your body and calm your mind so that you're getting the kind of sleep that you need to help your immune system. And a lot of people really love the Kids Calmer blend as a way to help them sleep as well. And of course, our kids are going to love the Calmer blend because it was created just for them. But adults, you can use it too. In terms of managing our stress, a lot like sleep, stress can wreak havoc on our immune systems if we don't have it in check. So what happens when we're stressed, the immune system's ability to fight off threats is reduced, which then is going to make us more susceptible to infections. So ongoing stress is going to make us susceptible to illness because our brain is sending signals to our endocrine system, which is our body's hormone system. So that endocrine system gets those signals from the brain, and then it releases all these hormones that are designed to amp up our bodies to deal with a situation that's causing stress. If you've ever heard of the fight or flight response, that's what's happening. So the brain is sending information of like, oh, we're stressed, help us deal with the situation, amps up these hormones to help us kind of hopefully navigate our way through the situation, right? However, those same hormones are responsible for depressing our immunity if we don't get them back down into balance after that fight or flight response. So a lot of studies suggest that stress is actually an underlying issue to as much as 90% of all illnesses. And it's not that stress is causing these illnesses, but that stress is weakening our body's ability to fight them when we come into contact with them, okay? So doTERRA has several products to help us manage our stress. For a lot of people, Balance is a blend that helps to ground and calm them in stressful situations. Another really popular choice is an oil blend called Adaptive, and Adaptive targets the neurotransmitters in our brain that link to our stress response. We have this in a trio of ways that you can use: the oil that you could diffuse, the touch roller that you could use topically, but then also the supplement, which is excellent for your brain in terms of helping those neurotransmitters, and in particular the GABA response in our brains, to stay balanced so that we navigate stressful situations well. And then of course the emotional aromatherapy line is a great line to use in terms of managing stress and managing emotional responses that tend to be more negative in nature. So like the Lifelong Vitality supplements, this is something that I have a webinar on that's solely dedicated to really understanding stress and how do we help our bodies deal with it. You can find that one in the same place under the Essential Oils 101 link on the essentiallyhiswisdom.com website. So take a look at that if that's something that you're interested in. And then of course, we'll have some ideas and some suggestions with the list that I'm going to give you today at the end of our time together. So now let's get into reducing our toxic load. Anytime that we put a synthetic substance into or on our body is going to react negatively in some manner. We may not always be able to perceive what's happening, but it is having to respond in a different manner than what we would consider a healthy response. Our bodies were not made to process synthetic materials, so they are going to cause troubles. And our body, usually what it wants to do is waste them out without utilizing them. So think about most pharmaceutical medications. They come with like 3 minutes worth of side effects on a 3-minute and 30-second commercial, right? So I joke a little bit, but the reality is that every single synthetic substance that we put into our body by way of ingesting it through our skin or even breathing it is going to affect our bodies negatively. So in terms of our immune system, it's going to vary by the chemical in terms of what actually is going to happen in the body. But usually we see a decreased immune response, either because that synthetic substance is disrupting the normal function of the immune system, or because it's disrupting the endocrine system, that hormone system, which is intricately linked into our immune system. So we often see things like disinfectants, household cleaners, sanitizers as a way to ward off sickness, right? But the reality is that if they are made out of synthetic chemicals, they actually are probably doing more harm than good in a long-term perspective. So take something like Lysol, for example. It's purposefully made sticky. So you spray it into the air, and it doesn't actually diminish odors. What it does is it masks them. And here's how it does this. It's kind of crazy. So that sticky spray, the sticky spray particles, we inhale them. They're inhaled by the user. It coats the hairs in our nose so that we only smell the Lysol and not whatever it was that we're trying to mask, right? The bad smell is still in the air. You just can't smell it anymore because of what's stuck up in your nose in terms of those sticky particles of the Lysol. So what's worse is that you're also inhaling those sticky particles into your lungs. So your lungs are going to start producing mucus to help the cilia of the lungs get rid of that intruding substance. When we know better, we can do better. When we use natural ingredients to create disinfectants and cleaners and sanitizers, we can help ensure that our bodies aren't being taxed by these toxins. And there is research to support the use of these things. Let me know if that's something that I can send your way. The list that I'm going to give you at the end of today is certainly going to give you some ways to ditch some of these toxic chemicals and really replace them with something that's natural so that your immune system isn't taking an unnecessary hit when you're trying to boost it up, right? Lastly, I want to focus a little bit on self-care, so informed self-care. These are things that you can do in your own home to help take care of your body, and in particular, your immune system. So first, we want to keep our gut clean and healthy. Decrease the amounts of processed foods you are eating, especially sugar. Sugar is basically poison to your immune system. So the more that you can clear that out, the better your gut is going to be in terms of health. I want you to keep in mind that 70% of your immune system actually resides in your gut. So if you want to keep your immune system healthy, you need to keep your gut healthy. The best way to do this is by taking daily probiotics. So doTERRA's PB Assist, or PB Assist Junior is the kids version, is a great choice because it's double encapsulated. And what that means is that there's a capsule of probiotics within a capsule of prebiotic fiber. This is really important because without that prebiotic layer, your stomach acid is actually going to eat up a big chunk of the probiotic. And so you want that probiotic in your gut. So that extra layer around the PB Assist actually helps to ensure that all of the probiotic goodness is getting into your digestive tract where it can work its magic instead of getting eaten up in your stomach layer where it's not going to do anything. Second thing you want to think about doing, of course, is practicing good hygiene, social distancing, wash your hands, use a hand sanitizer if you're not near soap or water. If you're sick, stay home. Those types of things we all know are good recommendations for helping our immune systems to fight things off. And then using your immune supportive oils like On Guard, Stronger is another one, DDR Prime, frankincense. These are all oils that are best used daily as a protective measure so that your immune system is fully functioning and kind of firing on all cylinders. There's also applications like the Symphony of the Cells that you can use to help your body's systems function optimally and help just make sure that your immune system is doing its job. So I mentioned a list of products that you might find helpful. A lot of them you can actually see here in our Healthy Habits Kit. These are all products that you really probably should be using daily if you're wanting to have a nice, healthy immune system. The Lifelong Vitality Trio, some supplements called Terrazyme, and then of course the PB Assist. All of these help in the eat right step of the wellness pathway that we discussed at the very beginning. Deep Blue and frankincense are going to help with exercise. Lavender and Balance, along with the Lifelong Vitality supplements, are going to help with rest and managing our stress. On Guard and Lemon help us to reduce the toxic load on our bodies. So you can see the full list that I have for you at essentiallyhiswisdom.com. Again, go to Essential Oils 101 and then choose Wellness Lifestyle. And I've got a live guide there. It's basically a wellness overview that you can look through and help to see ways that you can integrate some products into your life to make sure that you're hitting all four of these wellness lifestyle choices. So the kit that you see here, this one is actually available to both new customers as well as current customers. So as a current customer, you can log into your order site and you'll find this kit under the kits and collections section. It'll actually be slightly discounted even off of this price that you see on the screen here because of your membership. If you are new to doTERRA, this is actually one of our starter kits, which means that you will receive this bundle at a significantly discounted price. And it also is going to include a wholesale membership with doTERRA. So our membership works just like a Costco or a Sam's Club membership. You're going to order what you want and you're going to order it when you want to. There's no selling required, no monthly or minimum orders if you don't want to. And your membership gets you wholesale prices, which is 25% below the retail price. That also is going to help you to get plugged into all of our resources where we have exclusive kind of members only training and events. We also have resource pages that we get to stick you into that you can ask questions. And then of course, us as your personal wellness advocates to help you. We have an awesome shipping rewards program where you get your shipping costs back in product points to spend on free oils, and a loyalty program where you can earn more points for regular orders if you decide that you want to do that. So all of those are part of a doTERRA membership. This is just one of the many starter kits that we do have available, but here's what we're going to do, because I want to make sure that everyone on this call gets the individual attention that you deserve. I want you to pull out your phone right now, and I want you to send me a text message. My number is 765-201-0426. 765-201-0426. Shoot me a text message, and I will make sure that I follow up and message you individually to help find the best way to either support you as a current customer or help you to get going if you're brand new. So thank you guys for sending those messages along. I already see a couple coming through. Once we wrap up here, I will be connecting with each one of you to make sure that we answer any questions that you might have and make sure that you get the best package to meet your family's needs and your family's budget. So with that, I'd like to thank you for coming today. I hope that you learned something that will help to support your immune system naturally and really just keep yourself healthy. Go ahead and stop the screen share there. If you have any questions, you can feel free to throw them in the chat, or I also will be available through that text number that you can use. Hope you guys have a great day.